Okay, I think we're live. Hot dog. The question is, are we right side up or upside down? And what the world is with a sound check and chat room going here. Looks like we've got Giles and Chris, Jerry, Tommy, Scott, Dave, Bill, Indrid, Michael, Rudy, and Martin. Martin just had to watch because he had to see what is Tom S. doing in his storage container today. So let's see. I guess we better put a note in chat that we are live from I-10. Can I switch cameras here? I think I can. That's the graphics for today. That's as it's going to get, I guess. And the stream may be a little intermittent, so bear with us because we are out in the boonies. But I wanted to come to you with regular time. So we'll see. Pretty not surprised. Also monitoring Eastern Shore Broadcasting, which is where you can watch the stream and get in on the bulk of the chat at that point. Eastern Shore Broadcasting.com, and it should be going there. I should check that. We got another minute or two until live, so let's check that. Eastern Shore Broadcasting.com. Thank you very much. Glad to have you. Glad to have you. Watch live. Let's see what we got here. Live stream offline is what it says there. Aha. So it's not the same thing. That's interesting. Let's see if we can fix that here. YouTube. Boom, boom, boom. And live streaming. And it currently says we're offline. But who knows? Oh, we're offline because we're not doing that thing. Aha. All right, let's try this. Go live. How can I go live if I'm already live? Well, there's a question. Again, those of you that are watching, the show is, this is not the show. This is the pre-show. Maybe even the pre-show. There, that's better. If I tuck my chin in, I don't get all that glare, but let's see. How can we integrate the video feed from the phone to the video feed? Hey, Tommy. The video feed online. Alright, let's go back here. It's the same YouTube account, but it's not showing up yet. Let's see what we can see here. Share microphone. Share it to Facebook. Okay. Share in a group. Sure. We'll share with Streaming Idiots. Sure. Post. Let's try another share. Share. Facebook group. Copy link. Well, how can can I just get it to show up in my regular Facebook feed? That's the question. I mean, my regular YouTube feed. Hey, Daniel. Richard says there's probably confusion when the connection dropped. Yeah, probably. And it reconnected on the previous live session. Oh, okay. So if I go to the previous live session, that's going to be live. Let's see. Check, test, 1, 2, 3.
So we're just doing a little testing here from Interstate 10.
There we go. There's
Florida.
And that's
there we go. There's Florida. And
12 watching 9. This is it. Okay. So we need to put that feed in the website somehow. We need to turn off that audio. Sorry about that. We're still in pre-show. Still in pre-show. All right. Let's see if we can pick up a... Whoa. Let's pick up that. Copy it. Get out of that page. Ba-dum-bum-bum-bum. And let's go to EasternShoreBroadcasting.com. Let's see if we can't just drop this into the middle of the website page. Because the idea is that you get to go to the website page and pick the stream and the chat at the same time. That's the beauty of it all. Rich says if you want a new live session, you will totally have to stop. And now it's faded out. Oh well, that's okay. We're just going to keep this one and keep rolling with it. We got another 7 minutes until showtime, and we'll try to get it embedded in the website so that people can watch it. Watch live. And watch live. Let's see if this is the one. Hang on with us just a minute. Hang on, hang on. There we go. There we go. Okay, let's go to text. iframe border, bed, Ustream, blah, blah, blah. iframe. Well, let's just be quick and dirty with this, shall we? We're just going to put the YouTube feed right there and see what happens. There we go. That works. All right. Update. All right. Here we go. So, refresh at www.EasternShoreBroadcasting, typing with one hand, .com. Got it. Got it. All right, somebody says, looks like you're in the back of a black SUV being kidnapped. Yeah, by my lovely spouse. It was so sweet to take care of this for me today. All right, so if somebody has a chance, if you could let me know if Eastern Shore Broadcasting is working. That's the key, because we want to see if this feed can get into Eastern Shore Broadcasting. Coming up on 5 minutes before showtime. Rich says when you connect after a few minutes to Restream and Joycaster, both of them keep the current live session open and don't start another one. Tommy says there's no one in the driver's seat. Now that's true. No one in the driver's seat. It's a scary thought, Tommy. but actually I'm in the back seat. So there we go. And Giles says that ESB is working. Thank you, Giles. Thank you, Giles. Now, this is by no means a recommendation of how you should do this kind of thing. Thank you, Rich. Rich says it's working on the website. Rich is on YouTube directly, and so I'm seeing his comments right there on the screen. And Rich says 2 YouTube sessions on the website. Well, that's Facebook. That's YouTube catching up with itself. So you'll have to pause one, and I guess we can take the other one out now. Let's see if we can do that easily. Eastern Shore Broadcasting. No sense in confusing folks. It just came up on the Eastern Shore. Okay. Am I trying to do this like Martin S? Martin S is, how shall we say, unique. There is only one Martin S, and there will always only be one Martin S. So if you think that I'm trying to be like Martin S, I guess you could say I'm trying to be like Martin S, but I will never be as Martin S just because there's only one. But I'm inspired. How about I'm inspired by Martin S? That's good. That's even better. Okay, let's see. Let's see. Let's go down. Let's take the text. That's interesting. I don't see it. Well, that's okay then. There we go. There's Martin S. It's Hey Tom, comma. 25% pausing. Okay, well that's not bad. That's better than 50 or 75% pausing. Martin S is the Yoda of outside live streaming. There is no question about that, Rudy. No question about that. And Firestorm Records is Vitali from Texas. Welcome, Vitali. And if you're getting some pausing, I apologize. Blame it on the road. It's the fault of the road. Martin S does live streaming from a moving ice cream van. I love it. All right. And Ted in California says that you're getting both of them. Ted, you know, I'm sorry. One of me is plenty. There's no doubt. No doubt. Driving and live streaming. Actually, I was going to drive and live stream Rich, but the Mrs. said that she would just as soon live a long life and drive and not put me in a compromising position. There's Michael Graves. Welcome, sir. Who else has popped in? Looking in the Eastern Shore Broadcasting chat. If you're not watching it, that's what it looks like. And we'll pop back over to this one. And Rich is there, Rod is there, Ted, Kenny, Rudy, Jerry, Giles, Dan, Dave, Tommy, Dave, Bill, Steve, Indrid, Michael, and Mark. Delighted to have you. Delighted to have you. And we're coming right up on showtime here. Giles said he thinks the stream is amazingly good. That's because I've gotten close to a big city and the connection is much better. But we were out in the boonies there. Destination is Fairhope, Alabama. And I think I posted the URL for a map earlier. Whoops, I still don't have it. Giles said the clocks have gone back in Great Britain. It's an hour earlier. Ooh, golly. I think we're another week or two before we get it. Yeah, Ted, we'll talk about the technology about this in just a minute. Actually, it's really pretty simple. You would think it's simple, but, you know, simple for simple-minded. That's what I say. Okay. And I've just been informed by the driver that we are making a critical rest stop. Okay, Dan says it's Sunday when we roll back, so next week we'll be on the same time as the civilized world across the pond. There we go. So let's get started, shall we? We're gonna say that this show is going to be officially, and y'all, the show is going to be officially starting momentarily. But I'm going to need you to hum, everybody hum together, the theme song. Okay, on 3. Here we go. 1. Hold it. No, we could play that, couldn't we? I think I've got it here. Hang on a second. We're innovating. And it's very low-level innovating. There is no doubt on that. Are we in the music section? Yes, we're in the music section. Turn on the speakers. And let's see, do we have... anything? We don't want to get the wrong... We don't want to pull up some copyrighted music by accident. Okay, here we go. I tell you what, I can't get much better than that. Got theme music on the Interstate, and Dave, I missed the jaws of death too, but there was just no way. The jaws of death would have been the jaws of life from somebody coming at us to free us from this automobile. So, and yes, we have no dum-dums today. We were fresh out of dum-dums. We have tons of Halloween candy, but hey, welcome. This is Streaming Idiots coming to you live, literally live, at least for those of you that are watching live, from Interstate 10 in North Florida. We are heading west at approximately, oh my God, never mind. I'm not telling you how fast we're going. Holy cow. We're going to get home before I even finish the show. Anyway, yeah, the nasal cam. Sorry about that. So we are coming to you live, Streaming Idiots live on Wednesday, November 1st, 2017, from a makeshift, how we put it, a makeshift stream. It's not exactly what I had intended today. We're on option number 7, I think. And oh, there goes somebody's watching us, just drove by. Oh man, that's exciting. And so we're stopping on a rest area, so we'll get a little, you'll see that things don't move quite as fast in the background. And maybe the audio will be a tad better for just a few minutes.
What is that noise?
That noise is probably the fan for the power inverter that's powering my laptop. Don't mess with it, please. Okay, sorry about that, giving technical directions to the technical, to the gaffer in the front. What shall we say? Okay, where is my seatbelt? Well, in Florida, you're not required to wear a seatbelt if you're in the back seat. So we're just kind of risking it. We're putting our lives in the hands of a very capable and lovely driver. So we'll see. But hey, it's Streaming Idiots. We're coming to you live, and I'm delighted to have you here with us. If you're not watching us, we're not doing a Facebook stream or a Periscope stream today because we just couldn't figure out how to do all of those at the same time. So we are doing YouTube only. It's probably at least one, if not 2 of them on the website at easternshorebroadcasting.com. And then of course you can watch us directly in YouTube. If you watch us directly in YouTube and you post a comment, the comments come up right here on the phone, but we're also monitoring the chat. There we go. The chat in at easternshorebroadcasting.com. There we go. And this is just the chat. This is toms.chat, but you can go to easternshorebroadcasting.com and watch the whole thing. So there we go. Wife is doing 80, says Ted in California. Ted, I wish it was that. So, And Vital Justice just jumped from YouTube to the website. Thank you very much. If you're watching us on YouTube directly, come on over to easternshorebroadcasting.com. I'm really excited today. I mean, number one, I'm excited to do this this cool little stream. Yeah, hit the like button. Thank you very much. I appreciate all the likes. But it's funny, you know, everybody that does a live stream with a PC or a laptop kind of poo-poos folks that do it with a phone until you need to. And then all of a sudden when you need to, it's nice to be able to. So we're thankful to YouTube directly today to make this live stream available and to have it embed directly into our website as normal and be able to do the kinds of things we try to do. I was hoping to do the new Facebook feature where you could invite a guest on the show, but apparently Facebook doesn't think enough of streaming idiots to allow us to do that quite yet. So we'll have to wait until we get invited to be able to do that. The setup today, it's kind of a neat setup. We're using the Samsung Galaxy, I think it's an S6 Edge phone from Verizon, and that's connecting to wherever the local, wherever the closest cell tower is, and that is tethered to my laptop, and that's kind of cool because it's doing kind of a telephone version of PoE. It's doing power over USB to the phone so that the phone doesn't drain dry of battery. And then the phone is sending a tethered internet signal back to the laptop so that I can catch the chat. So we've got, I'm going to flip over to the other phone for just a second. You can see there's the USB that's going, actually that's not the one going to the phone, but anyway, take my word, there is one on the back going to the phone, and that's providing power to the phone and then providing internet to the laptop so that I can keep up with what's going on in chat right there. So let's switch back over there. There we go. And I've got show notes, and you notice the great graphics at the beginning, and we had the theme music, so this is almost like being there. Actually, it's not at all like being there, but that's okay. We're live from I-10. Coming up on Friday, we're doing a live stream. I'm going to be a guest on Catherine Darr's show, and if you follow us on Facebook, it will be a Facebook show. You can get a link on our Facebook page, and that's facebook.com/groups/streaming-idiots. We'll have it posted there, and that's 5 o'clock Eastern on Friday afternoon. It's going to be a lot of fun. Catherine is just starting out with live streaming with VMix, and she's been doing marketing and said, you know, really would like to have you on the show. Or maybe I invited myself on the show. It's hard to say. I'm sure that guy doesn't want his innards to be available to everybody else out there. Yeah, I don't blame him. Okay, sorry, we're getting off subject here. Anyway, so Friday we're going to be talking about why every business professional should do a web show, a live stream show. So if you're interested in that subject because you want to know for yourself, or because you'd like to use that to share if you're doing live streaming and you want to point to an expert like me, then you can do that. Tune into that, and I'll give you all my secrets on why a professional should be live streaming. So currently we are coming to you live. We're on Interstate 10 in North Florida on the way from St. Petersburg, Florida to Fairhope, Alabama. And we are currently parked at a rest area in Tallahassee, but we're going to be on the move here again in just a minute. And yes, the missus is on her own right now. Let's see. So that's next week. Other news is that we're finishing up our PTZ Optics pan tilt zoom camera group buy. If you're just finding out about this, it's not too late. We're going to finalize it this coming weekend. So if you've sent me an email note, tom@easternshorebroadcasting.com, or if you've sent me a Facebook message, or you passed me a Post-it note in the back of class, All of those are good. I've got you on the list, and I will be in communication with you this weekend to tell you what kind of price we were able to get in order to get cameras. It looks like it's going to be quite a few cams, so it's going to be a really great price. If you've been thinking, golly, gee, I want to get a PTZ Optics cam, now may be the time. At least send me a letter of inquiry, and we can let you know what's going on. We're doing an overseas folks. They're involved in this too. Everybody here in the U.S. is getting free shipping. Folks overseas are getting free shipping to the point of, what would you call that point where it leaves the U.S. and goes somewhere else? Shipping? Disembarkation. Whatever that place is, we're going to ship free to that place, and then it's up to you. We're basically working with a company called myus.com, and they are a reshipper, and so they are handling all the paperwork, all the customs paperwork. You need to have, if you're overseas and you want to get involved in this, you need to have an account with them, and we will deliver it to them, and they will deliver it to you. It's really pretty cool setup. We sent Martin Stuckey 10 PTZ Optics cameras back in, was it September, I think, to Switzerland, and it worked out really smoothly. I was amazed at how smoothly it worked and how quickly they got there and how inexpensive it was to ship. How much does it cost? Well, of course, it depends on where you are, but we would want to, okay, you want to see a picture of Sandy driving? There's Sandy driving. Sandy? Okay, that's the best you're going to get there. She says, don't show them my face. She's lovely. You guys would be so jealous. Okay, so we are up to, yeah, well, we're let's say that we're just slightly exceeding the speed limit. No, just teasing. This is fun. So we're finishing up the PTZ Optics Spy this weekend, and that's going to include overseas folks. And for those of you down under, Australia, New Zealand, places like that, you're included too. Go to myus.com and figure out what the shipping would be from there to have an idea on that. Here's some other big news, which is that I had a super secret communication with my inside connection at PTZ Optics this weekend. Actually, it was last night, Halloween. And they gave me the drop-dead certain date when NDI and PTZ are going to be joined forever together. And I'm not allowed to tell you that date, but let's just say Thanksgiving will be 2nd. Can you get that? You got that? Okay. So that's coming soon, and very soon. If you and here's why that's important. If you're interested in PTZ Optics NDI implementation, either on a camera that you just recently purchased, or you want to get the new NDI camera, if you pre-order, you're going to save. Even if you pre-order your upgrade, you're going to save. I think the upgrade is $600. You can save 50% if you order your NDI upgrade on a recently purchased camera before the NDI upgrade comes out, which is coming out Thanksgiving. Anyway, I can't say it. I can't say it. But you got it. And those of you in the chat room that knew what I was talking about, share it with the other people so they can know too. And then coming up in January, we are starting a new show. It's not really a show. It's more of a group activity. Oh, come on. For those of you that are just getting into VMix and like, oh my gosh, this is wonderful, but where do I start? We've got a coming up, not certain exactly when in January, but we're going to do a 6-week series, one night a week, one afternoon a week, or one morning a week, or maybe a combination thereof. For those of you that want to get in on this, it is going to be a pay-per-view type deal. It is going to cost you to get into it. We're going to limit it to 12 participants, and we're going to do a lesson and then questions and then a lesson and then questions, and you can go back and watch it, but it'll be live and interactive, which I think is going to make it a lot more fun. And then you can go back later and watch the live show again in case you missed something. So keep an eye out for that. Live streaming rookies. We'll probably be making use of Facebook and Vimeo and maybe some other things. So we'll keep you in the loop on that one. So live streaming rookies coming up in January for those of you that are just starting out and need to know the basics. This is going to be the basics of VMix, the 1, 2, 3 ABC, getting started, you and me, with VMix. It's going to be there for newbies in January. You say, but Tom, I'm a newbie, I can't wait. Well, then you'll have to do the best you can, and then come on, take the class, and we'll fill in the gaps on what you didn't get. So that's that one. If you're just joining us, yes, this is a live version on the road. We're in Northwest Florida, USA. This is a camera phone in the Samsung Galaxy S6. This is the front-facing camera, of course, so I can see myself. Or is this the rear-facing camera? Anyway, this is the one that's facing me. And it's tethered to my laptop, which is giving it power. And by tethering it to my laptop, I'm also being able to use the internet, which of course this is being live streamed through over my phone's connection to the cell tower. I guess that's the 4G. But I'm also using that to be able to do the chat room here on my laptop. Let me show you right there. There we go. There's the chat room at easternshorebroadcasting.com/TomsChat. Now, if you go to easternshorebroadcasting.com, you can watch the show and get the chat at the same time, and of course, browse around anything else. Okay, let's see. So those those guys are chatting away. Okay, so this is an unusual show. Obviously, this is not the standard show today. We don't generally do a show from the back of a 2009 Honda Odyssey minivan with a pair of Jack Russells. You can see the crates covered with towels. A pair of Jack Russells. Normally they're terrorizing the postman right about this time. And we're also we're being escorted by my lovely chauffeur, who also is my wife, Sandy. So there we go. Let's see. We've got about 40 people watching YouTube directly and 27 folks in chat. So we're glad to have you watching on YouTube directly, but you're missing out on the chat. So we'd love to have you come join the chat and get it. The audio today is coming through the just the little microphone here that comes with the headset that came with the telephone. So it's nothing fancy audio-wise. I had brought a lav mic with me, thinking that I would be able to use the webcam and plug that into my laptop, and then use the lav mic and have decent audio. And the laptop's so old, the Logitech webcam and VMix maxed it at 100%. So we said, well, that's not going to work. So we'll go to Plan B, and we're on Plan Q right now, I believe, which did not include the lav mic, which probably was just as well, because the lav mic is not a noise canceling mic at all. And you would, I mean, if you think you're hearing road noise now, at least this little guy right here has the ability to cancel a little bit of outside noise. I don't know whether it's gated or whether it's just how it's doing it, but I think that's how it's doing it. The key for this for me is, number one, a good internet connection, which for those of you that joined the show early on when we were out in the boondocks, you knew we dropped the feed probably 3 or 4 different times, and it took a little while to kind of get that The internet connection now should be pretty stable because we're not exactly in an urban area, but we just passed through a big city. And as we move away from it, it's going to get a little sketchy. And then I'm using the camera powered by the laptop and then sharing the internet connection with the laptop so I can monitor the chat. Not really fancy. And then what's happening here is I'm using the YouTube app on my phone to stream live, and coincidentally it streams directly to my YouTube account for Eastern Shore Broadcasting, which is embedded in the easternshorebroadcasting.com website. So, and I think I actually went in and threw another one in there just in case. So if you're watching easternshorebroadcasting.com on the Watch Live page, you might see two feeds. You can stop one if it's giving you double audio or something like that. Trying to read what's going on in chat, and it's not making any sense. Tommy Willis somehow needs to get something translated to English. That's what happens when you live in Alabama. Tommy just Googled, what is my name in French? And Google came back, Tommy. I love it. I love it. The things that these guys chat about, it's not even funny. I mean, actually it is. It's hilarious. But anyway. We had a great discussion in the Streaming Idiots Facebook group this past week about copyright things and copyrighted music and giving permission to, at sporting events, you know, who grants permission to be live streamed. And people were making the case, well, it's a public event, therefore you should be able to live stream anybody because it's a public venue. And somebody said, well, you know, maybe you can post a notice. And my suggestion is, might be the highest bar, and not the lowest bar in this one, is when we were live streaming soccer for the Fairhope High School, we had the soccer coach write in the permission slip for the kid to play soccer that, number one, that the school had the right to take a photograph of him, and then number two, that Eastern Shore Broadcasting had the rights to videotape him, or her, sorry, during the course of the game. And then when the school entered into a contract with another school to play a soccer match, and that's how it was done down here, is the schools actually have a written contract where it specifies, you know, who's responsible for what fees, and you know, what time the game will be, and what kind of facilities will be provided, that kind of thing. That contract also, the other school acknowledged that it was okay, that, you know, they had the necessary permissions to do that too. And so what that meant was, you know, we didn't have to worry about it. The school had gathered all that up and had it on file. Should we ever need it, it was available to us. There was one case where one of the kids was, his parents, or her parents, I don't remember which it was, I think it was a boy, were involved in a really nasty, they were getting divorced, and it was in a nasty custody battle. And I think the boy was living with his grandmother or something like that, so that he was being hidden from one parent or the other. I don't remember the statistics. And we were announcing the game. They said, you know, number 22 on the roster, it's blank for this reason, and they told us the reason. And they said, you know, just make up a name. So we used John Smith. So everybody was cheering for John Smith. And of course we showed, you know, we were in deference to their wishes, didn't show any close-ups of John Smith so that you couldn't really see what he looked like. And, you know, to my knowledge, there weren't any problems with that. But you never know when somebody's going to be in a witness protection program or have something like that. So it's better to clear all that up in advance than to cause some grief for somebody unintentionally. And, you know, it's a long shot, but you just never know. So currently, if you're just joining us, connecting, and there we go, we're reconnecting. That was very bad. Sorry about that. We'll keep this up as long as we can. The other part of that discussion had to do with copyrighted music and where can you do copyrighted music. And we actually had an attorney on our show, I think it was back in the spring, to come in and talk about that. And in classic attorney speak, he really would not come down firm on what you needed to do in order to cover yourself. Either he didn't know or he wasn't willing to be on record saying do this. I guess he was afraid that we would turn around and sue him if we got sued. So we'll try to find somebody else that can address the copyright issue. It may be that we don't get an attorney, but we get a broadcaster who has a lot of broadcasting experience that can come in and say, hey, this is what's worked for me. These are the times that I've been dinged. For the most part, people are concerned about getting dinged by Facebook or YouTube, and maybe being shut down by Facebook or YouTube, which if you're doing a lot of streaming using one of those or both of those, then it's pretty important that your account not get locked out. I got locked out one time for about 5 days because Facebook thought we were using something copyrighted. I think it was an image, and somebody laid claim against the image with Facebook, and so Facebook shut us down until we could prove that we had the rights to use that image, and that whoever it was that was saying that we didn't have the rights was wrong. And we finally got that straight. So that was unpleasant and unfortunate. So Dan in the chat room says he's in the Jehovah's Witness Protection Program. Oh, that's too funny. That's too funny. I love it. Okay, so here we go. We are looking forward to this weekend when we're closing out the PTZ Optics group buy. If you're interested in that, shoot me an email, tom@easternshorebroadcasting.com, or a message on Facebook, or pass me a post-it note in the back of class. Michael Wilson is saying that every single archive he uploads gets flagged, always for the same royalty-free song they legally have purchased for commercial use and use it in one of their ads. He has to dispute every single upload. So there you go. Even if you have a license to something, doesn't mean you're not going to get in a dispute, at least temporarily. Giles said that he was having that he changed some music that he was using because he was having that problem repetitively. The Streaming Idiots theme song is, again, something we purchased the rights to, and to my knowledge, we've never had to prove to anybody, including Facebook and YouTube, that we own the rights to it. Maybe it's out there enough other times that they just leave it alone. They've just flagged it as being out there in the public domain or something like that. And Martin S. is giving me a thumbs up, saying he's loving the show, that I'm officially a part of the OffGrid Gang. So there we go. There we go, for what it's worth. And this is why I don't use the YouTube chat, because I don't have a monitoring in it. So if somebody's monitoring that and can flag those messages, that would be great. Yeah, that's what I was, thank you. That's the YouTube chat. I must have accidentally enabled it, because that's not my custom. Yeah, that's why we don't use it. I think that the guys at YouTube use it for their weekly show, but we're not using it there. There we go. Can we do something with that? Function on the screen. Actions, report, remove, put user in timeout. There we go. We put him in timeout. All right, very good. Well, that was easier than I thought. We will be switching over from Chatwing here probably next week, because Chatwing kind of held us hostage a couple of weeks ago and said we couldn't use their service unless we paid money. So I understand they got to make a buck, so we'll move to something else. Tommy Willis is asking in the chat at Eastern Shore Broadcasting, does he need to put his CCLI streaming license number on all his streams at the church to cover the choir and in church and the church musical instruments? And Tommy, CCLI has a special license for live streaming. So you want to make sure that you have the CCLI streaming license in addition to the production license. You probably already have a license to use music and make photocopies of music and things like that at the church. But a streaming license is a little bit different. So you want to check and make sure for a church. Your church is probably about the same as my church's size. So you're probably talking about $60 a year. He says he's got that streaming license. Okay, well there you go. Good deal. And do you have to post it? The license will tell you. The license will say where it has to be displayed. My guess is that even if you put a number in your broadcast, that if you get flagged, you'll have to send them a copy of the license. Just cut and paste. Yep, just cut and paste. Michael Wilson said it would be amazing if YouTube and Facebook provided an interface or an API to put input license info, making you immune to Content ID songs covered by that license. That's not a bad idea. Although, Michael, there's no percentage for them, and you could lie, and they would have to be the police, and they would much rather just shut you down. That way, they don't get sued. I think that's what they're looking for. If you're thinking about going to NAB in April 9th through the 11th, I think, in Las Vegas, you need to make your hotel reservations now because the hotels are filling up. The further you go away from the Strip, the cheaper they get. But if you haven't already made your hotel reservations, you'll want to do that. I think the NAB registration fee, if you're going to the trade show portion, you can probably get in for free if you hold off a little bit and don't register, because folks like VMix and PTZ Optics and some of the others will be giving you a code where you can get a free registration. So hold off on that, but keep an eye out for NAB coming up. Yeah, Dan at PI Engineering, the X-Keys folks said that they're giving out passes to NAB too. Hey, we must have pretty low latency today if Dan has answered that question that quickly. That's pretty great. Obviously, you can tell that we're not using artificial lighting today, except, of course, for the... can you see that? Is that better? No? Anyway. Obviously, we're not using artificial lighting. We're just using natural lighting, and we're having every time we go behind trees or behind a truck, you get to see that kind of thing. Dan says he's in the back of my car. And Mike Lotta says the live latency is 5 seconds. That's not bad. That's not bad on this kind of thing. Okay. Kent is there. Hey, Kent. Kent says, I like the remote show today. Question. Did you add an embed code for this remote show? Because I was trying the same thing and can't stream with my YouTube app to my embedded player on my website. It tells me I'm offline. Any idea why? Kent, I had the exact same experience. And it said I was offline, so I went and picked up a stream key, not a stream key, I picked up an embed code. Nope, it wasn't an embed code, it was a shortcut to the stream. And I put it on EasternShoreBroadcasting.com, the Watch Live page. And I think now there are 2 streams there because eventually, the embedded page did show up. I would check that here, but I'm a little hesitant to use up a whole lot of bandwidth because I don't know how much I have. I did not do a speed test before this. I should have, and I should have. All right, let's see. Michael Wilson says, YouTube Live embedding is really weird and inconsistent sometimes. Hey, me and YouTube Live, we share a lot of the same the same characteristics. Giles is getting 3 seconds of latency over my phone on the interstate across the pond to Great Britain. Has some pretty good speed going on. How about that? Not triple digits, and it's miles per hour, not kilometers per meter or whatever they measure it for over there in England. And it is not the daughter, Tommy Willis. I don't have any daughters. I have daughters-in-law, or a daughter-in-law. Okay. Yeah. If she doesn't keep the speed up, it will drop frames. That's right. And the hamster's having to run fast to catch up. Okay, Giles had a big long buffer just as we said his name, and came back just as he said we were getting some good speed. So, I think we've proven the point on the live stream from the back. Connecting. There we go. Reconnecting. Reconnecting. There we go. So we need to get a copper cable, hook the phone to the exterior of the car, and the car is now the antenna. There we go. I love it. I love it. So there we go, guys. We are crossing over into the central time zone, so instead of being 3:38 Eastern time, it's going to be 2:38 Eastern time, but that's all going to change on Saturday night when we go back to regular time. Yeah, we probably were transferring from one cell tower to another. You're probably right. John Thompson says, don't let the wife hit 88 miles an hour or the stream may go back to the future. I love that. I wonder if there's a speed that's too fast for a cell tower connection. I mean, other than just moving out of range. I don't know. Okay, so we're going to finish up here, and it's going to be my turn to drive in just a little bit. But I really appreciate you guys tuning in today for this kind of ad hoc live stream on Streaming Idiots, and yeah, I hope if you haven't already, you'll come join us for the chat all week long at Streaming Idiots. Well, it's the Facebook group, so it's facebook.com/groups/Streaming Idiots, and you can have a lot of fun there. There are a lot of newbies, a lot of medium bees, and a lot of old bees so far as live streaming is concerned. So there's a lot of fun, a lot to be shared, a lot of great discussions. Really like the discussions there, and so that's it. Next week's show, you know, I don't have my whiteboard here, so I don't know about next week's show. I think we're talking about audio again next week, November 8th. Yes, we are talking about audio. The professional of audio will be on the show. And so it's going to be a lot of fun next week. So we will see you guys next week, November 8th at 3 o'clock Eastern time. Remember, it's not daylight savings time next week. So if you are not off of daylight savings time, anyway, I'll post one of those links that tells you what time it is in your place. We will not be doing it from the driveway in the van. Thank goodness we'll be back in the studio next week, where it is a good internet connection and good cameras, good microphones, and good software. So anyway, this is doable, huh? This is doable. The key is having an internet connection. It would be nice if I had a little gimbal that would take some of the wobble out of the phone. That would be nice. And that's the deal. Oh, also, for those of you that are international, I'm planning a trip to Thailand and Australia in the spring, and hoping that I can stop over onto the other continent. What do they call that? Europe. So we'll see. If you can help me with some of that in terms of giving me some ideas, I sure would appreciate it. Anyway, love you guys. Appreciate you tuning in, and we will catch you catch you next week, and we'll see you on Streaming Idiots Facebook page, Facebook group momentarily. Bye now.